So I wanted to start this week with the story of Bowen Turner. This is a kid down in Orangeburg County who's been accused 3 times, not once, not twice, but 3 times of criminal sexual assault. Once in April 2018, a second time in October of 2018, and a third time in June of 2019. Now, if you listen to this show, if you read FITSNews, you know that we have focused on South Carolina's injustice system, as I said in the intro. Because we don't have a justice system, folks. We don't. Victims, they end up getting re-victimized by our justice system. Criminals, they're the ones that get the consideration. They're the ones that get shown all the latitude, that get all the breaks, who are shown deference that it's just disgusting when you think about what they've been accused of doing. And again, I get it. Everybody's innocent until they're proven guilty, right? Absolutely. I'm a libertarian. I believe that to my core. But I also believe when people show you who they are, you should believe them. I also believe when you've got compelling cases with evidence, with victims, with families, with people ready to testify to talk about what happened and then the impact that's had on their lives, I believe you need to listen to them. Now, there's one victim in this case that we will never get to hear from because she took her own life last fall. And her family, once again, re-victimized by the system. But anyway, I want to talk about this case because I think it matters and because I think it, as I said in the intro, plays into a lot of issues that we've been covering. Now, Mr. Turner had a court hearing down in Orangeburg, South Carolina yesterday. And this was on one of the 3 cases. First case is dropped. It's off the register. Second case is going to be dropped because, again, the defendant in that case, or I'm sorry, the victim in that case is now no longer with us. But the third case that was pending, there was a hope that there might be some justice there. And once again, South Carolina utterly disappoints because there was no justice here. Kid gets a year probation, doesn't even have to register as a sex offender. But I want to pull the lens back a little further because I want to talk about how we got here. And it's relevant because it involves the issue of ankle monitoring, which is an issue that this news outlet did an exclusive report on just this past week regarding a bill that came out of the South Carolina House of Representatives. Now, this bill is just another criminals' rights piece of legislation sponsored by Democrats, pushed through the Republican-controlled South Carolina House of Representatives. But what this bill will do is it will allow violent criminals who are on an ankle monitor basically claim credit for any time that they spend on an ankle monitor against any prison sentences that they're dealt. Basically, it's just a free ride. It's like, okay, now if there were actual ankle monitoring taking place, I might see the possibility of entertaining a proposal like this in certain cases. But here's the problem. We're not monitoring these people. And the case of this Bowen Turner kid is a perfect example. This kid violated the conditions of his bond on more than 50 occasions over a 3-month period. 50 different occasions. He's going out of state. Not allowed to do that. He's going to sporting goods stores. He's going to private residences. He's going to steakhouses. He's playing multiple rounds of golf, all while he is supposed to be under house arrest for a first-degree criminal sexual conduct charge. And again, a first-degree criminal sexual conduct charge that came while he was already out on bond for another criminal sexual assault charge. What the hell, people? What in the hell? Under the conditions of this kid's bond, again, I say kid, he's 19 years old, but under the conditions of his bond, he was supposed to be immediately incarcerated the moment he violated house arrest, which again, he did 50 times, at least. Did that happen? No. In fact, the victim's advocates who attempted to have him remanded to custody, the judge would not even hear their argument, would not even hear it. Instead, they cut straight to the chase. They cut straight to just letting this kid walk out of that courtroom. I got 2 girls. I got 5 boys. I got 2 girls. But we're going to see people start taking justice in their own hands very soon if this continues to happen. Because it's a sham. It's a farce. Victims are being re-victimized by our court system, while the violent criminals are being coddled, are being enabled. And do we think this kid's not going to go out and do this again? I mean, look, 3 times, gotten away with it. So let's discuss why a little bit. Let's talk about why. Well, will it shock you to learn? It probably, if you're a regular reader, viewer, listener, it won't shock you. But would it surprise you to learn that, guess what? The attorney representing this kid, powerful State Senator Brad Hutto, the Democratic minority leader of the South Carolina Senate, one of the most powerful politicians in Columbia, South Carolina, he's this kid's lawyer. He bears enormous influence, holds enormous influence over who gets elected judges in this state. And we wonder why this happens over and over and over again. If it's not this guy, it's Dick Harpootlian, it's Todd Rutherford in the South Carolina House, it's Luke Rankin over in Horry County, all these powerful lawyer legislators who are literally abusing the system to get their clients off. Now here people have, we'll pull the picture of this kid up. You can look at this kid here. He's a preppy little white kid. Looks like he should have a popped collar, There he is. That's Bowen Turner. And so I've had some people say, oh, well, this is a white privilege case. We don't have that in South Carolina anymore, folks. We got criminals privilege. This is just straight up criminals privilege. This is giving every benefit of the doubt to somebody who has a documented history and who has a documented contempt for the conditions of his bond. And again, this kid was out. This kid was on an ankle monitor back in 2019. A judge lets him off of that ankle monitor, and within 40 days, he was arrested again for another first-degree criminal sexual conduct charge, his third, in a period of a little over a year. 3 criminal sexual conduct charges, a little over a year. And this kid walks out of a courtroom. It's just baffling. If you're pissed off about this, you should be. And I wish I could tell you there's something you could do about it, but as we saw back in February, the judges that continue to enable these violent criminals continue to be reelected by the members of the South Carolina General Assembly, both Republicans and Democrats like Brad Hutto, who was representing this kid. We're never going to see change unless we change our politicians, people. Because in South Carolina, we're never going to be able to change the judges until we change the politicians. Because they elect them. One of only 2 states in the country that does that. How's that working out, South Carolina? I think this case tells you all you need to know about how it's working out. Insist on justice, people. Insist on better. And I'll tell you once again, if we start seeing people taking matters into their own hands, I don't encourage that. Those people would obviously have to be held accountable under the law as well. But we're going to start seeing more and more of that unless our system starts to hold people accountable. We have an injustice system in the Palmetto State right now, and this Bowen Turner case is Exhibit A. And enough's enough, and if you want to stop it, call your lawmaker today. Tell them if you vote for another one of these corrupt judges, lenient judges, judges who won't enforce the basic tenets of the law to protect victims, to protect the interest of public safety, tell them you're going to throw their asses out.